Okay, maybe we should do like 3, 2, 1.
No, just do it, man.
Susie Johnson, who is a qualified dietitian.
I am indeed.
For a very, very long time. She doesn't look old, a little bit old. When I put a post up a couple of weeks ago, and actually previously before that, some people had some questions about diet.
The best kebab meat. So anything that's grilled and in cubes and pieces in its most purest form. So we're looking at a shish kebab.
Is it true that duck fat contains niacin, which then reduces body fat?
That's an interesting one. I've never ever heard of that.
What about things to eat late at night? So, you know, or very early in the morning when you wake up and get the kids ready.
I would say sort of those types of things. Obviously going to bed, if you're coming in really late, you're really tired, I wouldn't advise like a really heavy meal. That's the last thing you want to do. It will just make you, when you wake up, you feel really sluggish and bloated. I would say something light. Why not have a salad? Why can't you have a little bit of salad, a little bit of roasted vegetables, perhaps with a piece of like lean chicken or a bit of fish, if you wanted a meal, and also like a snack, as we were discussing, things like corn cakes or corn thins or rice cakes, spread of, it could be peanut butter, and I forgot to mention, you know, good quality jam as well. A little spread of that is a great idea for a snack.
Jam. Right, so one of the things that women experience is during their monthly cycle is low iron levels. So how could women help sustain their iron levels during that time of the month?
Sorry guys, a bit of TMI gonna happen right now. I think in terms of a woman, I think when you are looking at menstrual losses, don't let me go deep, but you know where I'm going when I'm saying this. And obviously I think, to be honest, with some people, depending on how much losses they actually have, no amount of iron-rich food you eat probably is going to be able to compensate for the amount of losses that you're having.
Basically how heavy your period is, just in case you understand what she's talking about.
Thank you, Karen, for that. I was trying to be all politically correct. But yeah, I think it depends on the woman. I think if a woman's got a lot of losses, you are going to find that no matter how much you're trying to get it all in, your losses are way more than what you're actually taking in terms of iron-rich food. That is your red meats, your chicken, eggs are a very good source, as are beans and pulses as well. And I also mentioned vegetables. It's also a good idea also to have a food or a drink that's very rich in vitamin C. So that would be things like, you know, obviously if you have steak and salad, that'd be great. If I also, like I said, I've talked to you about a healthy diet. I also include a small amount of freshly squeezed juice, so that would be something like orange juice, for example. So a small amount, like half a glass, with the meal is a good way to make sure and ensure you've got really good iron absorption. And just to add one last comment, if you're somebody who trains quite a lot and you suffer from a heavy cycle, it may be on those days you're most heaviest, it's wise, I would say, to ease up on that. The last thing you want to do is faint while you're exercising, and allow your body to rest and recuperate. Also with the energy levels, it's also because of your hormones. Your hormone levels are fluctuating during this time.
Thanks. What about, so I had a question from somebody who runs quite regularly in terms of sort of long distance running and half marathons and 10Ks. In terms of carb loading, when should they eat a high carb meal before a run and after a run, and what should it include?
Okay, that's quite a broad question. I think it depends on the type of exercise, but then you did say, was it a runner, did you say?
Yeah.
It depends on the length of exercise that they're doing as well, to be fair. Thanks, Karen, for that demonstration. We normally say, obviously, before a run, a good couple of hours before a run, you want to make sure that you have a good load of complex carbohydrate. The more unprocessed, the better. So for me, a bowl of porridge would be ideal. And also I would say also load up on a quick acting carb, so you've just got a good mixture. So something like a banana following your porridge would be a good way to start, set you up for the run or the day, as it were. Do your run, etc. And normally we say you want to put back some of that carbohydrate that you have used up in stores. So obviously when you're running, you have got carbohydrate stores in your muscles, which will be used up, particularly if you're doing a very long run. So we normally say to try and replace some of that. In a nutshell, we normally look at carbohydrate amounts in terms of 1 gram of carbohydrate to 1 kilogram of body weight. So for example, I'm not going to say my weight, but let's say you are 50 kilos, you would need about 50
How much
grams.
do you weigh? 50.
Anyway, not going to get into that. Don't think this is kind of a 50 kilo body, but anyway, I would say that for 1 kilo, if I was 50 kilos, say, I would say you need about 50 grams of carbohydrate, and that would be the equivalent of, like I said, I encourage using natural foods, as it were. So that would be the equivalent of perhaps 2 medium-sized bananas. It would be a small bowl of a unprocessed cereal. But I can't give you the grams because it depends on the type of cereal. It means like 15 apricots, for example. We normally encourage that you eat this amount of carbohydrate 2 to 4 hours following a long run, for example, and then have a full meal later on.
So no pasta after a run? Because whenever I've done half marathons, I go to like Spaghetti House or Pretzel or something and just eat
No.
pasta or pizza.
No. Brown rice, brown basmati rice, I would encourage quinoa. You see, this goes back to my healthy eating. Pasta in an ideal world, it's not, there are more, what's the word I'm looking for? More better forms of carbohydrate that I feel release the energy much more steadily and slowly. So I would say quinoa, brown basmati rice, a lovely sweet potato, for example, would be good sources of complex carbohydrates to have post a serious bout of exercise.
So I think this might be sort of a couple of final bits. There was somebody that wanted to ask about sort of diabetes and diet and IBS and diet. That I think Susie will probably contact you separately because just because it's a bit complex. I think that's all our list of questions. We survived! Yay!
My first video
So
or vlog,
thank you.
should I say. Just thank you very much for Karen for giving me the opportunity to be able to share some tips and ideas. And obviously, if you've got any further questions, please chat to Karen.
Yes, direct to me or sort of message Susie. She does have a Facebook account, Susie Johnson. Right? Is that what you call her on Facebook? No, I know what your name is. Susanna. Have your name is Susanna?
It is
No.
Susie Johnson. It is SUSI, and then my surname Johnson, which is spelled JOHNSON. And also, what I will say, just to add, a lot of this stuff that I've talked about as well, a lot of it is on, because like I said, I'm a dietitian. We have what we call the British Dietetic Association, and their website is www.bda.com, and there are things called food facts. You can just get quick fact sheets that summarize a lot of the information that I've given you this day.
And so that concludes one episode of Dicksons Addictions. Thank you for joining us. I hope it has given you some of the information that you sort of requested and given you some ideas for healthy eating. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and we will, well, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.